Hello, what's up ladies and gentlemen, it is I'm the one and only Maxi here, and I'm back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Banjo-Tooie for the Nintendo 64/Xbox various systems ranging from the Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox Series X along with Series S, and that's pretty much as far as I can say for this point. So yeah, last time we have basically managed to begin the final world in the game, Cauldron Keep, although we haven't done that much of this world, apart from the fact that there's no collectibles to be found. Especially noticeable that all we did is basically we fight against with Klungo for the third and the final time for this playthrough, and also we did manage to tackle through Tower of Treachery quiz trivia game. And overall, despite we actually lost on the second round on the first attempt, but we still dominated as it is, so for some questioned exceptions. So today, and also on top of that, Gruntilda just managed to get away again, and every once in a while, the entire world is fully restored. Well, to be more specifically, Isle of Heeks and Jinjo Village, and Bottles is now back to life again. So yeah, today for this video, this is going to be the finale of Banjo-Tooie, and that we're going to be taking on the final boss of the game, and this world takes place at the very top of Cauldron Keep. So yeah, I can't wait to see how that's going to represent it with. So because previously in the first game, all you have to do is basically you're going to have to hop into Dingpod in order to be able to launch ourselves to the actual very top of the tower. But this time around though, it's pretty simple. But the only thing is worth noting for is the fact that to get up there, we need to collect about 70 Jiggies this time around. So yeah, I guess that makes it pretty obvious. Oh, isn't that the very familiar vehicle thing behind us? Hing 1. Oh goodness. I think the last time we've seen this contraption is actually at the very beginning, so yo, look at the size of that. I'm sure it wasn't that big before. How could we have missed it? It appears to be having ourselves a massive drill right there. Although we pretty much guarantee who's inside. Yep, Gruntilda's the only one. She managed to get inside there, so yep, she wants revenge now after 2 years since Banjo-Kazooie, which that makes it pretty obvious right there. So okay, sorry for this quick jump cut right there, because once again I've stumbled across myself a massive power cut again, but thankfully we did manage to able to record the first footage for the sake of the actual final boss of the game. So yes, speaking of the final boss, here we go. Fight against with Gruntilda once again, except now that she's actually going to be using a different contraption. No longer going to be supporting a magic broomstick, so she's now able to actually use Hang 1 as a drill vehicle. In addition to that though, this time around though, to make things a little bit trickier than you Forms of how it does it on the first time around, is that as you can tell, that sometimes, occasionally we get interrupted by question trivia time. So meaning that the quiz trivia is still continuing, but you still need to able to get these answers correct, because if you get the questions correct, that you will cast a spell a lot slower. However, if you get a question wrong, you're able to do a faster spell attack. So because of that though, something we need to classify for noticing this, and then as soon as you're able to done the question, you immediately go into the first person shooting kind of segment, and it's your chance to able to attack Gruntilda. And unlike in any other bosses, they does sometimes manage to able to have a little amount of health. Well, in this particular final boss itself, actually contains 100 health. So yeah, this is going to be a challenge, especially noticeable because this is at the very end of the game. And every once in a while, until you're able to actually deal with like 10 amount of damage to Gruntilda, then you pretty much guarantee you move on to the next segment, or in this case, next phase, for specific attacks. Like the first 2 phases, all you have to do is basically you have to jump over for those specific lasers and stuff like that. And the only way you can deal the damage on Gruntilda is the fact that you can either use a multitude of egg types. There is the forms of the grenade eggs, which I always attempt to use, because that actually deals like I would say 3 damage, so that seems a little bit more higher than I was expecting. But you can also use the Fire Eggs if you wanted to, but it actually gives you like 2 damage of hit. I don't know about the other eggs though, although, except for the 1 egg, we'll save that until for later, because obviously that, well, this is going to be quite a tough fight, and also, unlike the original game, that we're no longer going to be able to actually deal with the forms of some flying techniques, because obviously this battle takes place in somewhere on the ground, but we're no longer going to be able to fly in the air this time around, unlike the first game that you have to able to fly in the air to deal the damage on Gruntilda. And of course that we're no longer able to try to deal with the forms of those Jinjos to able to activate the Jinjinota. So in this case though, that's no longer there. So we have to deal with the forms of, well, some precise aiming with the actual eggs and stuff like that. The only difficult part about this fight though, compared to the first game's final boss, is the fact that I feel like the egg shooting segments, sometimes it can be imprecise sometimes for my part. I'm guessing it's mainly because I wasn't exactly an expert when it comes to first-person shooter games and stuff like that, but that's probably just me anyway. Oh, and every once in a while, much like the first game, is the fact that once you move on to the next phase, then obviously there's some more honey pickups that you can able to pick up to able to actually get your health back if you keep on getting hit multiple times. So, and this is where the fight gets a little bit tougher, especially noticeable as you can see that we now need to dodge a lot of like fire like rocket projectiles. Clingers. Yep, Clingers is definitely one of them. And of course we'll, you know, keep on shooting Gruntilda here. So hopefully we'll able to try to... It's all about timing as well, because sometimes if you time it wrong enough, then otherwise you will able to keep on wasting those different kinds of eggs. Thankfully, there's some eggs respawns after like a huge amount of hits on her. So yeah, at least that might be a good thing for... you know, keep on farming some more different types of eggs, specifically the grenade eggs specifically. So, and here we go on to the next phase, where she, in addition to able to actually activate those 2 lasers, as you can see, they have to jump over, but also she now able to actually activate the drill itself, which you have to be very careful of the drill, by the way, because if you touch the drill, then you get hurt. So... yeah, that's as far as I can say about this boss fight. Although eventually it gets a bit harder as you progress until at the very end because, well, as to be expected. And I think it is definitely not possible to able to fall off the entire battle this time around, as opposed to in the original game. Because in the original game, that the only way you can die is by able to actually lose a lot of your health, or especially noticeable you accidentally fall off to the actual arena. However, that's not the case this time around in this game, because somehow that we ended up inside a barrier shield for the entire battle arena. So, at least we're safe from now on, although the only time we will come across to death on this battle is the fact that if we lose all of our health. So, here we go on to the next phase, where basically we now need to utilize the Click-Clock-Kazooie eggs, and basically we need to use the Clockwork Kazooie contraptions until we're able to, well, detonate those batteries inside the actual, well, the drill tank, or hang one as far as I like to call it. So, oh goodness gracious, notice this starts to get a little bit difficult right now. Although, thankfully, if you try to, oh jeez Louise, really? Sometimes it's so fast sometimes with all these, you know, lasers just goes in like a 360 degrees turn. So, yeah, I kind of seemed able to actually get the point about, you know, with the timing and what have you. So, a few things I want to explain. Okay, at least I got 2 right. So, anyway, a few things I want to explain while this battle's been going on. Recently, today it is the forms of, I would say today it's the 18th of October today, in this case in 2021 today, and I think we've only just naturally got about 11 days to go until Mario Party Superstars for the Nintendo Switch will be releasing. So because of that though, I'm still very excited for it, and I'm sure that most people already be excited about the game. Although, the only thing is questioning for this point right now is the fact that how well does the game actually receives at the end? Well, it wasn't until we find out until 11 days time. Although we're not exactly sure about the final character roster it is so far, because I know for the fact that so far we've only got 10, so it's like, you know, a less half compared to the previous installment's character rosters than Super Mario Party, but every once in a while though, that's just mainly the case, So as you can see, now we've actually destroyed 2 batteries inside of the actual, well, the Hang 1 vehicle, and that means we can able to still deal more damage on Gruntilda, but the battle itself is not done yet, because after all, since that the Hangman is now pretty much useless for her, so in this case that she will able to actually just to summon more magic spells on you, and eventually whenever you get into health 30 or lower, basically she now starts to summon her minions until when the minions decide to attack you. And that's what gets really tough at this rate, because in addition to trying to deal with the forms of dodging more enemies, and also you have to still need to be precise on aiming shots and what have you, because again, if you miss shots correctly, then you're probably gonna waste a lot of eggs, especially grenade eggs most likely, so... Oh god, here comes the hardest part, which appears to be by the forms of... Oh shoot, the poison gas. Oh boy, we're going back into the poison gas syndrome again, ever since in Grunty Industries, since in, well, in World 6. So, I suppose I should probably forgot to mention is the fact that the only thing I kind of don't like about the game as much as the first game is the fact that I feel like Grunty Industries is actually my least favorite world in the game for me. I don't know about you, but I'm guessing it's because there are quite a lot of backtracking to go for. I think that's the only downside I can think of. But aside from that, most of these worlds are really good, but I wouldn't call that usually top-notch and everything. But I think easily my favorite world in the game will definitely have to be Hellfire Peaks, because it's all unique and interesting, because obviously combined with Fire and Ice together, so here we go on to the last hit, and basically she now decides to able to summon the most devastating powerful attack out of them all, so we definitely need to dodge those, as always. And it's just only a matter of time to able to actually get this last shot onto Gruntilda. It doesn't matter what type of eggs you're able to use, but obviously I use the fire eggs at the end, because obviously I'm already run out of those grenade eggs. So there goes Gruntilda, and somehow she might as well able to, well, explodes. God, that is definitely a lot gruesome. And also I've somehow managed to got the achievement already, so yeah, I guess that's that. You know, just like in the first game, so, and usually it just calls it my nemesis, so, makes sense, so, yeah, that makes it a little bit obvious for the sake of time, so, good idea. So now we ended up back in the Bottles house, and somehow they say, well done, Banjo and Kazooie, for able to save the day again. So, all the while that Bottles is asleep. Seems a bit quiet for a party. Hey, Bottle Boy, where's this party? Well, it's finished, I'm afraid. That Klongo sure was hungry. He's eating everything in the house. Mumbo wanted to boogie. Big help, Bomber. It's all your fault, Bird Brain. You should have dealt with the bony crone quicker. Well, at least I wasn't hiding in their sleds like a coward. Why, you feathered... Yo. Unless Humba hid in the, well, you know what I'm saying. Shut up, or Wumba turns stupid Sherman into a frog. Me summon gold statue to kick ugly Wumba's butt. Stop it, all of you! You can go outside if you want to argue. Kazooie's got a better idea. Yeah, does anyone fancy a kick around? Kick around? What's that, punk? Follow us and find out. So what they're gonna do at the end? Well, they'll try to able to head outside, or to be more specifically, it automatically goes into the Cauldron Keep and have a kick around at Gruntilda's head. Well, that's sure it's something, alright, for the sake of, like, celebrating a birthday and everything, or a party anyway, by able to save the day and everything. So, once again, I do apologize for my commentary gets a little bit stale at first, because once again, I think my computer starts to lag again, so I do apologize for that. So, oh gosh, she lost her eye? Oh jeez, what is this, like Hercules all over again? But anyway, so yeah, that basically does it for Banjo-Tooie, and she say that wait until Banjo 3. Although, unfortunately, Banjo 3 didn't happen, sadly, but I'll discuss on that later. So, with that being said, join us tomorrow, or specifically on Wednesday, for more of Let's Play of Banjo-Tooie, we'll show off the extras. So, see you guys then.